Welcome, family. How are you this Tuesday morning? So happy to spend this time with you doing some chakra balances and some energy alignment. So today we're going to do a general chakra balance. We're going to use our traditional Reiki hand symbols, but we're going to focus on a special message today. And that message is doing what is best for you. I know when you're healing and in the healing journey, a lot of times people are naturally givers or naturally kind of sometimes self-sabotagers. But what we want to do here is we want to connect to our purpose today, and we want to do what's best for us, and we want to respect others who are doing what's best for them too. I think that's a huge part of the healing journey, to give others that respect and that place to do what's best for them, and also give yourself the strength and the autonomy to do what's best for you. So if you are ready, let's go ahead and get started. So with your permission, per usual, can I say a prayer? Thank you. Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for our highest good, please connect us as a community. Let us root down in our own personal healing journey. Let us feel the light and the love of the divine, the universe. Please give us the support from the Reiki masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Kadumi. Please give us the support of the archangels, the spirit guides, spirit animals, and our ancestors, as well as just letting any lower vibrational energy move on to its next evolutionary path through the transformational flame of Saint Germain, and us uphold our strength, know our purpose, and move forward in this life with our shoulders back, our chest high, and a smile on our face. And I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, as we usually do, go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. As you're taking 3 deep breaths, I'm going to do the traditional Reiki symbols just to connect that divine light, the light of God, the light of Jesus, the light of all those within our wisdom traditions that we have here, to give us that ultimate healing. So I want you to imagine this white and golden light just beaming on your shoulders, your heads, your body, everywhere. If you want to receive, you can keep your hands up. If you're feeling like you just need a balance and ground or something like that, you can place your hands down. It is up to you, but go ahead and take that deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Okay, continue to breathe. Exhale. Final breath. Okay, now breathe deeply on your own. Continue to breathe. And that final breath. Thank you, God. Okay. So right now, I'm just going to work with your aura before we really get into this cleansing, just to create a space. Now I'm flexing my core because what I'm noticing is just a need to let go. We have this typical in our community, you and myself included, just the need to let go. Letting go sometimes can be an indication, or not wanting to let go can sometimes be an indication of wanting to stay loyal to an ancestor path that no longer serves us. And that's some information that I learned through understanding family constellations. If you're not familiar with that, I think I've spoken about that a couple of times. Family constellation is just a modality in metaphysics, or the metaphysical path. in which problems that surface in this life have a deeply rooted connection to our ancestors. So our mothers, all the way back. And it could be on any side. And you can use this even in anything that is a unit, whether that be work, whether that be in groups. And it just represents a lot of stuff. And so what I had learned with that, as well as energy healing, working with the 11th, 12th chakra and things like that, is that sometimes we have certain habits that we do energetically. It's not even on an unconscious or conscious level. It's literally habits on an energetic level that we do in order to fit into our lineage. And so we know that we fit. We know that we are there. We know that we belong to this unit or to this group. And it's something that takes a lot of internal work. You know, you can work on things that are conscious, and you can even take it a step further and work on things that are unconscious. But once you start getting down into the lineage of these energetic things deep down, sometimes you need help by somebody who does an energy healing or somebody who works in a certain modality to bring some clarity. If you start or hold or continue to keep a deep meditation practice, that's definitely helps tremendously, and you can work through a lot of that there. So anyway, the reason why people do not want to let go is because they feel that once they energetically stop, they feel a disconnect from those around them, those that they love, maybe even those that they love in a kind of toxic way. But you feel a disconnect. A great example is a term called a survivor's remorse or imposter syndrome, in which here it is, you're doing great things, but you can't accept it because you feel bad that those around you have not necessarily achieved what they wanted to, or you feel like you just never learned, or you cannot accept your greatness and what God has created you to be. So you refuse it, but at the same time, you're still trying to grow. So it's almost like that saying where it's like you had to blossom because it hurt more to remain tied in a bud. And sometimes that means removing yourself from situations, people's experiences, and also changing yourself. And you're the one who holds yourself accountable. Okay. Just kind of getting that out. Getting some of that out. And so I'm going to go ahead and just start to pull some energy. And remember, this is an energetic life force here that you can breathe in. And as you exhale, you can move that energy onto the transformational flame of Saint Germain. The color represented is purple. And the light is of the highest understanding, highest evolutionary value. And that's lower vibrational energy in whatever form, moving on to its next evolutionary path. It's primitive energy that needs to go. You can no longer be receptive. So you're going inside and changing that energetic connection. A couple more breaths here. You are doing a fantastic job. Now just remember, the theme today is doing what is best for us. So that means disconnecting from old ways of doing things. And you know what? This is a thing that you're going to have to do the rest of your life. And it doesn't have to be excruciating. It can be pretty relaxing if you just make that a part of your journey. But at first, it can be very tough whenever you try to do something new, especially as an adult. You know, as they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can, but it's going to take a lot of work. And the same can be thought for fitness. You know, when you start to hit 40s, 50s, and 60s, your body doesn't metabolize in the same way when you were in your teens or in your 20s. And it doesn't mean that you can't accomplish your goals. It means you have to be more patient and more forgiving and more understanding, more diligent, more realistic. And that's okay. All of that is okay. Okay. So we're talking about this ancestor lineage and clearing that up. So we're going to use this copper amber. As we talked about, I had a video before about what this is, the difference between copper amber and amber it's the amount of time and, things. But when I think of amber in general, it just makes me think of something prehistoric. Now, granted, any stone is going to have taken quite a while to form unless it's a stone that's man created, which we use, which is not a negative thing. But just when you think of amber, it really connects you with something that is kind of prehistoric. I feel the same thing when I work with petrified wood, just the same kind of feeling. Though, as I said before, a lot of stones are very old, but this is just what energetically comes up to me. And as you can see, it's that sap. Get this right. Oh, tree resin, not tree sap. It is the tree resin, and you can see little bits of like ants in there. Oh, there's one. And when I got this, I got it in Vegas. And when I got it, there was a really big one with like a lot of little ants in it. And I was like, that's just too much for me. I didn't want to look at that all day. So I got this one, and it seemed really nice. And I feel like I paid $10 for this, so a steal. Side note, I actually had to work on taking the tree sap off of my car, and let me tell you, take it off while it's still soft, because that's what happens to your car. It takes a layer of paint off. And we're going to use the multivite, which is a powerful healing crystal. We talked about it before, and selenite. So continue to breathe here. We're going to use this Palo Santo to just open us up and clear us out at the end. I just want us all to feel really just good and really divine here. Okay. And it lasts for quite a while. I've been working with this for quite a while. You're burning anything that's taking up too much space out of you, okay? You are deserving. You can move that out of your energetic path. Okay, so I'm going to clear myself out. God, thank you for allowing me to be a facilitator of this healing class. Please clear out my root chakra. Okay, I'm taking this energy up. Bring it back down. Okay, now I'm going to clear you out, okay? So here it is. I'm going to clear out your root. Thank you, God. Let's clear out the root. Clearing out the sacrum. Thank you, God. Please clear out the sacrum. Clearing out the solar plexus. Thank you, God. Chest up. Clearing out the heart. Thank you, God. Clearing out the throat. Thank you, God. Now I'm going to clear out that third eye. Thank you, God. Right there. And clearing out the crown. Thank you, God. Now take a deep breath in. Filling up. Exhale. Take another deep breath in. Now filling down. Exhale. Okay. Beautiful. So, I want you to repeat after me. Okay? Just got my selenite here. Just cutting away anything. Just cutting away anything. Using my left hand, and that is a gesture of pulling. Okay? And I'm cutting through with the selenite, a representation of a higher vibrational path. And I want you to just relax. And I want you to think about, what can you do for your highest good? Now, if this is really hard, I want you to take a step out and look at somebody else. It can be any person. And look at what they did that was best for them. And it doesn't have to be a negative person. Just in that moment, you felt like, oh, I didn't expect that, but they did what was best for them. Take just a couple breaths, whatever that is. Maybe you thought you were a part of their group or their symbol or something like that, or their connection or lineage. But you ultimately understand that maybe you were not. Or also maybe they just did what's best for their highest good. Now take a step in. I want you to go ahead and look at yourself. When have there been times where you did not do what was best for your highest good? Just use one example. It's not to be emotional. Just use an example. Let's go ahead and really activate this moldavite right here. Stone of change. Now I want you to think of one thing. Choose one. Slow the brain down. Choose one. Sorry about that. Choose one thing. And I want you to think about when you could have done something or something you can do for your highest good. It literally can be like, hey, I really just want to focus on writing a book, and I'm just going to dedicate 30 minutes every day to it. I don't care if I feel shamed about it. I don't care if somebody else shames me about it. That's what I want to do. It can be something else, like a popular one is fitness. A popular one is, improving your professionalism, professional development, getting a better job, becoming an entrepreneur, whatever it is. I want you to think about it. Maybe it's even just taking me time, self-care time, being unapologetic about it. I'm going to take one day off a month and do something that I want to do without feeling like I need to incorporate other people. Or I can incorporate other people, but it's 100% of what I want to do. Okay. Continue to breathe there. Now I want you to hold it in. It's something that's good. It's not something that brings a negative feeling or a negative connotation. And I'm going to just place this moldavite on your third eye. And the reason why I'm going to place the moldavite on your third eye is because it really is a gesture of transformation. In this moment, we're going to be transforming, okay? We're going to be transforming how you feel about yourself, okay? And you can take this moment. Here's that moldavite, okay? Here it is. Right there. Continue to breathe. Beautiful. You got it right there. You got it right there. I'm going to place it right there. Right there on your third eye. And I'm just going to say a little transformational prayer. God, please allow us to connect deeply and allow us to see the vision that we need to see in order to transform our life, in order to support our highest good. Please allow a path to make way for whatever it is that our goal or desire or our affirmation is to move forward. Let it move higher energetically than our own habits, our own karma, anything, any obstacles, any lower vibrational energy. Let this one thing move forward and transform our life. And I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay. Just moving out any debris. Now I want you to take a deep breath in. Fill right up there through your third eye in here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Final breath. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, good job, good job, good job, good job, good job. You did a wonderful job today. I'm just going to continue to just clear away and wipe off. As I've said before, you can think of me kind of like your window cleaner or your sunglass cleaner. Just wiping away. Just wiping it all away. And we're going to take some energy here and we're going to refill you up just to give you that energy and that confidence. Sometimes it's a little tough to feel like you can step forward and do something new, especially if it's been something that you've started over and over again and it just didn't work out, or You just are like, have a million excuses. But you gotta do what's best for you. So continue to breathe here. And I'm just gonna continue to work on this. And I think I'm gonna do a little story time right now. So the reason why this came up for me, to really focus on today for community, is because I've definitely felt before in my life where I've always been very open and very understanding for others to do what is best for them, but I just could never make that connection with myself. And honestly, I can't even say that I really was 100% okay with people doing what's best for them. I think I was more okay with them than myself, but the truth is there's been times where there have been people I was close with, or maybe people that I didn't even expect to do something new or different, or something that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the courage to, and then they do it, and I'm like, wow, I kind of felt like I was being left behind. And that's something that I've always struggled with, feeling like I don't want to leave others behind. And I think those moments in which I felt like I was being left behind solidified it. So instead of the appropriate reaction, which was an opportunity, like, wow, I really like that they did that, I'm going to step my game up, it then became a victimized kind of thing, like trauma, or I'm being left behind. Now that I'm grown, I know now it's an opportunity, but I'm living my life now that way, but I'm still doing the work of clearing up energetic things in the past that I've allowed to root down. And one of those things is doing what's best. Now, I really, really believe in all my heart in self-development, self-care, and I do a lot of self-care things in my life. I told you before, I'm a yoga teacher. I'm also an energy worker, and I have a job, another job outside of that pays the bills. And because I have that, I really focus on the things that make me feel good energetically. I do yoga, so I do flexibility training. I'm always continuing to do energy work and energy training. I go to the gym, so I have a lot of gym references because you all have known about the healing issues that I had. And so once I was able to get back in the gym, I have been going there. I wake up every day at 6 to get there and to do my thing. And I also take vocal lessons. I take singing lessons. Singing is probably the first passion that I've ever had, and it was something that I learned a lot of lessons, surprisingly, when I went to college and went to graduate school. Just that love for singing was a motivation enough for me to feel like, oh, I need to get myself together when it comes to school. So whatever reason why it's been put in my life, it's just something that, a hobby that I've always loved, and I love it for myself personally. And I realized in my life that hobbies are so precious to me because they allow me to learn discipline, and they allow me to work through things in a way that I don't necessarily have to work through them in a traumatic way outside of myself. I work through that discipline and that encouragement and learning and doing all of that stuff there. And so it has been a lot for me to have to literally sit down and advocate for myself, as well as self-care. As you know, I get my nails done, I get my feet done, I do all of these things for my healing. And it took a long time to look at myself and value myself enough to feel that way. Because as a child, I felt like, ooh, I'm just being superficial by doing these things, when the reality was that's actually not at all what I believed. I just didn't value myself enough to really lift myself up, because it doesn't matter what you do to adorn yourself. It's that you do it. I've given an example of my friend who, she, wears all this I don't even want to say makeup, I want to say like warrior paint and like energetic stuff. She does all of this kind of like, as I say, hippie stuff, but she takes the time out to do that. So it's the same. It just depends on what you take the time out to do. And it's really taken a lot for me to stand up in that, even financially, in which I'm like, hey, I'm setting this money aside every month. I don't care. If I got to take a second job, I will do it. to be able to uplift my energy and my spirit, because I know that that's what will move me forward and give me the highest spiritual path. So I'm just saying this from a place that I've been there before. I also talk about financial responsibilities. So, a lot of things that I do, it's not cheap, but I definitely say like budgeting in other ways, or taking on more jobs, because I do take on side clients in remote work. And so, look, whatever I got to do to keep my healing path forward, I'm going to do it, because there's been plenty of times where I folded and I felt just like less than. And now I'm at a space in my life where I'm like, look, I'm by any means necessary. I'm doing what I need to do for my highest vibrational energy, because I know I am only of good to others if I am of good to myself. So that's just my little bit of story time this time. And please feel free to share your journey and share your stories as well, because I love, love, love to hear them. And I love to hear how it's going on the energy journey. So let's go ahead and disconnect. Please like and subscribe to our channel to continue to grow our love and our support for each other. And I'm going to energetically disconnect now. So I'm going to do it first with the Palo Santo. Thank you, God, for allowing us to do what is best for ourselves. Let's clear out the community's root, rooting us down and giving us the nutrients we need, clearing out the sacral, bringing our creativity to light, solar plexus, bringing out our confidence, our heart, connecting us to our purpose, clearing out the community's throat, speaking our truth, third eye, seeing that vision, and crown, being connected to the divine. Inhale, air down, exhale, opposite direction, inhale, exhale. Okay, I'm going to clear myself out. Thank you, thank you, thank you today, community. I really appreciate you and really love you so much. Thank you, God, for allowing me. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. One more breath together. Inhale, breathing up. I'm going to disconnect. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. To you as well. Thank you, God. Okay, and until next time, if you haven't heard it, I love you. You've got some beautiful gifts coming, and I can't